This documentary features rehearsal and performance footage of Unscene Suffolk, a community theatre company of adults with visual impairment who created and performed fossils inside the Ipswich Museum. Rehearsal footage shows the group of around 20 people, including participants, staff and volunteers, working in a large, light hall with a wooden floor. They are a mixture of men and women, aged from 30s to 80s, and they wear casual clothing. They are seen seated in small groups, some with large print scripts, and also standing up as directions are given to them. The museum space in which later rehearsals and performances take place is much darker. It is filled with taxidermy animals in enclosures and cabinets. A large stuffed mammoth is visible in some of the rehearsal footage, and the print of a giraffe disappears off the top of the shot. In the performance footage, the actors wear Victorian costume. Men's costumes include a chimney sweep, a deerstalker hat and waistcoats. Women's include mop caps, aprons and a straw hat. They suggest an array of characters with different social standings. 5 people are interviewed in the documentary: the director and 4 of the performers. Each of their faces is shown initially, and then as the interview continues, their speech is laid over further rehearsal footage and performance footage. When the director talks about the story's roots in local history, we see black and white images of miners and a rural village. Logo: Unscene Suffolk. Performance footage.
Let's all go down together like so many have before, to hunt for buried treasure all along the rocky
Caption: The Making of Fossils. Unscene Suffolk's 2014 production. Jenny Holton, project leader.
Unscene Suffolk is now in its second year. We started the project in early 2013, and this is our second project, and we were very lucky to get funding from the Arts Council and also Suffolk Community Foundation. We're also supported by Sensing Change and the New Wolsey Theatre, and this year Ipswich Museum.
Caption: About the story.
So the performance is set in a village, a fictional Suffolk village called Little Bainham. It's set in 1890, which was the kind of, around the time of the decline of the coprolite industry in Suffolk, which was a big industry which had led to a lot of mining, and through chance really, a lot of the things which are in the museum collection had been discovered and unearthed through that mining. So we set it in a kind of real local historical context, but really that village was a vehicle for us to create lots of very different characters.
Performance footage.
A best-selling sensation.
As far as possible, the cast were involved in that writing, so the formation of the characters and a lot of the early scenes were actually improvised by the group before we fixed the script.
Rehearsal footage.
We will be doing scene 7 later, which you are in. The demon will come like Mrs. Carswell promised, because that's what she said. She said a demon would come.
Right.
But you pause before that word because you don't want to say that in front of Jack. Yeah. Then you might need to reach over to the row behind or come along a bit until you find someone. Okay.
Stop this nonsense immediately.
Into it, but you cannot put any weight on it, okay?
Caption: Working in Ipswich Museum.
For me, Ipswich Museum is all about natural history. There's lots of other things in the back rooms, but that main room where there's an enormous mammoth and all sorts of other taxidermy is really what I think of when I think of a museum. I used to go there as a child, and it's very much part of kind of our local history and culture here. The museum meant that we had a natural kind of fixed environment that we could rehearse in and perform in, where there was quite a lot of furniture that didn't move. So we used the cabinets in the museum and the glass cases to find our way on and off. We also used the balcony and the railings, and because we're working with people who are blind and partially sighted, that really lent itself to them being able to perform easily and to move around easily.
Caption: About Unscene Suffolk.
Our kind of principles as a company, as Unscene Suffolk, are firstly that we don't audition, everybody is welcome. You know, we believe that everybody's got something to offer and that everybody can participate, and we don't just mean, oh, they can be in the chorus. We want everybody to be able to have a character that is right for them and that is manageable for them. It's about everyone working as a team and having a really kind of full experience of being central to it. So everybody's crucial rather than just one person kind of carrying it.
Maggie.
Had a chap from the museum come and talk to us all about fossils way back, and it's all sort of snowballed from that.
Jim.
We were all given little sketches to work up. You see, so that as they're working in groups now trying to learn their lines, we had groups working up little sketches of different things. For people who can't read a script, and I'm one of them, she's also produced a CD of the whole thing. So that's how I learn my lines.
I've got it sort of more or less in the head, but I think that when I've got to come in and actually say it, it's a different matter, you know?
Of course.
It's not like that you can look on a page and remember, you've got to keep going back over it and over it, you know?
Fran.
I didn't think I'd be any good. I said I'm 80 odd years old and I won't be able to learn lines, I won't be able to read them. You know, I don't think my memory's that good anymore. But it improves. As you go along, your memory improves.
Yes, it's good because it brings people out of their normal self, you see.
Of course. Yeah.
And believe me, the best actors are the ones who can't see at all, in my view. Yeah.
I went to my optician for my checkup, and he said, "Have you, been in touch with which is what they call a sensing change, which is like social services?"
Okay.
And I said, "Not for donkey's years." He said, "Well, would you like to see if there's anything going on that would help?" And they told me about this, and I've been coming since last November, I think.
Julie.
It's a very social event, and I miss meeting people. And I'm at home being a housewife otherwise, so getting me out of the house and doing something that I love. I used to teach drama, so I miss that in particular. So it's that social aspect and the feeling that I am doing something that's worthwhile.
It's nice, all these people I've met, you know.
And it's taught me a lot actually, because I get the train here by myself now. I'm met at the station and taken to the station, but you know, I travel independently and I've learned lots of new skills.
Are you nervous about the upcoming then?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I won't be able to see reactions on people's faces, so it won't matter.
We really wanted to push people that little bit further, even further than we had last year, and I think even most of the cast were surprised by what they managed to achieve.
Caption. So how did it all go?
Audience feedback has been really good. Lots of people commenting on the comedy and how funny it was, and I think the cast might not have realised how funny it was until they had an audience.
Performance footage. A bearded man chuckling and a woman in a headscarf convulsing as though her body is possessed.
People are looking at them and going, that was really good, really enjoyable, on a completely objective level. So that's, you know, I think those two aims, although they look really different, making a great show and, you know, helping out a group in the community, although they look different, they're actually very much achieved by the same process for me.
Performance
This
footage.
creature is far from being a supernatural entity. I believe it to be human in origin.
We've been hearing from participants saying that they feel, you know, more confident in lots of ways, people who hadn't done it before particularly. So one lady said that she now feels like she can go out and start a conversation in public, which she couldn't do before. There's two people in the group who were previously unable to get to the rehearsal space without assistance, and now they're both independent and they turned up by themselves today. So there's lots of positive effects that are not just about the show.
Performers line up for their bows.
We had a lovely review from, you know, a reviewer that wasn't someone connected with us at all, and he really understood what the show was about and how these issues about putting barriers between yourself and other people, how that works on two levels. So it's an emotional issue about relationships with people, but it's also a physical issue about putting barriers between ourselves and historical objects. And that on both levels connects with visual impairment and how much more isolated you are emotionally and physically if you have a sensory impairment. So to have somebody review it and really understand that was really nice, really flattering.
The moral lesson, I can't remember what it is.
Through the hedges and the ditches, through the gorse along the ridge, through the brambles and the briars, is the path to Ragged Beach. All go down together like so many have before, to hunt for...
Supported by Suffolk Community Foundation, Arts Council England, Sensing Change, New Wolsey Theatre, Ipswich Museum. Logos: Unscene Suffolk, Livid Films.